Hello, Celestial, Caboose, and John Roach. Yes, I am back. I'm here. It's time for the late night stream. I did promise a second stream, and people are wondering what's the D10. And the answer is, that's the D10. This is the Canadian Pacific D10, a very prolific 10-wheeler of the Canadian Pacific Railroad. Several of them have actually run in preservation. Not necessarily recently. Some of the most prevalent examples include 1098, which is actually currently not numbered 1098. Is actually currently numbered 225 and painted blue at the Reading and Northern as a display engine. And then we have 972, which is currently in pieces at the Strasbourg Railroad. And there's several others around Canada on display. And they're decent excursion stars, but they're not really known or used at the moment. But maybe in the future. So, one has been added into the video game we have here, courtesy of modding. Once again, thank you to the mod author for making it and getting it in game. And we already have ZVK asking for a bin. Really, ZVK? Thank you for your support, ZVK. May you request a Bennett. I guess we can request that because we're going to be taking this on a little bit of a run. So here we go. I see Justin Cummings is here. Welcome. And spacing out with Ginger. Oh boy. Yes, exactly. Freight 10-wheeler. Though they were really mixed traffic. They could really do pretty much anything you needed them to do. Which is why they kind of became pretty prolific excursion stars. They had 33,300 pounds of tractive effort, so they were pretty powerful little beasts for what they were. In fact, for a decent little comparison, Reading and Northern 425 only has just about 35,000 pounds of tractive effort. So they were pretty powerful for what they were, and pretty popular too. I think there was over 400 of them built. And now we have one here in Railroad, which is kind of nice. So we're going to put it through its paces. Once again, like the earlier stream, we are on the early version of the Midland Mod Pack, which is kind of my own little creation here that's still in testing, hence why it has not been released yet. It will be once the testing is complete, but I didn't want to release it ahead of time because, well, it's still being tested. And DRRP is happy to have the D10. Yeah, it's a nice little engine. Once again, this is my little test map for my mod pack. Just changes some things at Robinson Gap, Alarka, at the Eastwood Interchange, as well as some of the logging industries to make them a little bit better. A little bit bigger, a little bit more prolific. So here we go. Thank you, Spacing Out with Ginger. We do like the EBT here. For those who don't know, I volunteer with friends and help out a lot through that. And if you haven't been to the East Broad Top, you really should go at some point. It's a wonderful time. So, well, Celestial, if you did get to see a D10, that'd be awesome. I don't know if there is one in Nova Scotia. There might be. I'm not sure. Let's see here. Let's see what kind of speed we can get up to. No. A dump as a bin. So you mean dump the brakes? ZVK? Is that what you're saying here? I just want to make sure. Okay, we're getting up to a decent bit of speed, but nothing horrendous. It isn't a 1,000-ton train. Dump the brakes. Alright, dump the brakes. We're satisfying ZVK's request through a dumping of the brakes. Now you will notice the cab is a little bit basic. I do believe this is an import from somewhere, with some changes being made. But, so the detail in here is decently basic, but it's there. It exists. Provides some flavor. KSC Gaming's here. Welcome, KSC Gaming. Oh, that flies. DV import? A little, but it's not Derail Valley, so I think it might. If it is an import, I think it might be Train Z. Not too sure on that front, but that'd be my hunch. Also, for those who weren't here earlier, there was a big life update today. Technically, it happened Wednesday, but I told you guys about it today. You may notice in the items being funded, there's no longer the Midland Wants a Truck fund. That's because Midland now has a truck. Midland traded in his motorcycle and his car, and as well as some money that you guys very helpfully donated throughout the streams. We are now, well, I say we, I was able to get a truck, so now I have a truck, which is why that's not there. And KFC Gaming, you're looking at it. This is the D10. This is the Canadian Pacific D10. So, right here. And CSX, you haven't missed much. We're just looking at the D10. That's the tender they had, CSX. That's the tender they got. They were tiny little tenders. Well, I say tiny. They held 12,000. They held 12 tons of coal and 5,000 gallons of water. Yeah, Canadian D10. It's Canadian. Oh, Canada. It's safe to say it's short. You can see the box car behind it. It's not exactly the biggest thing in the world. He hit 70. I am assuming that was going down red marble. I'm well aware of Jersey. I will say the CP5 chime here, which is what this is, sounds really cool. It's like kind of haunting. That's likely the case, CSX. The recording they used for it probably was a little far away because it's hard to get good recordings of that whistle because they're not exactly common. I think this recording is likely a Canadian Pacific 2317 recording, and that engine hasn't run since 2011. So getting sound bites for this whistle is likely a little bit difficult. It was not CSX. You are incorrect. It was not done by tweaking the G25 model. This was an imported model, a complete model. I would say likely from Train Z, if I had to guess. And William, welcome. Let's get this set up. You hope the railroader does make it north for the game. I would say hold out more hope for modders to do that. I wouldn't expect the devs to do it, nor the modders really, but you know, I would say of the two, modders would likely be the first to do it, if I had to guess. Though a northern in the game would be neat. Personally, I would hold out for a Reading T1. I feel like that would fit. 4501 in game would be nice, yeah. I would be kind of hoping for like a not a 20. Well, yes, a 20 too. But I would kind of hoping for I would be kind of hoping for like 4960 and not in its Burlington guise. You want French locos in for some reason. Southern had Northerns, didn't they? They had Mountains. The KS class Mountains, I think. Or the K class Mountains. Or no, it was the MS. It was MS class Mountains. But I don't know that they had any Northerns. William, unfortunately, I'm not familiar with the French steam engines. I would not mind having an MS class mountain. They are very much... They're kind of like a USRA standard mountain, for lack of a better way of putting it. That part I don't know, William. That's the French. And PXCK gifting another 5 Midland memberships. Thank you, PXCK. Would be neat to see 1522 as well. And thank you, PXCK, for gifting the memberships. Appreciate you. Well, William, I try to. I'm not the best at it, as longtime viewers will note. I do my best to read chat when I can, but I am streaming. Mark cannot read chat, and I'm not saying that as a slight against him. I'm saying that because it is physically impossible to read Heiss's chat. As somebody who has had to do it on occasion, it is impossible to read all of Heiss's chat. That is not his fault. That is the having a million people in the community, which is awesome, but it makes reading chat difficult. And even me as a smaller streamer with a lot less subscribers and a lot less viewership, it finds it difficult at times. So I do my best. I will always do my best in whatever I can present to you guys. But my hat goes off to Mark for even attempting to read some of chat, because it is not easy with his. Like I said, William, I do my best. But I will definitely wholeheartedly admit that there is a point where sometimes it just doesn't get manageable, or there's too much going on stream for me to manage. So... And we're fans of a lot of hobbies here. All right, we're gonna drop these cars. Oops, I opened the door. Letting the hobos in. Add another engine CSX. William, I would say if there's a connecting rod between the 2 and the 3, then I would say it's a 210 technically. Because it's bulk loads of lumber CSX. That's how. If the Penzi duplexes were like that, but they were not. Those were definitely separate. There was no internal coupling rod or anything. Oh, I'm glad I stopped what I did. Whoops. Didn't even know where the engine was. I would actually say you probably would have factor adhesion problems, CSX, with the 410 with the 410-4. Potentially. Depending on how big it was. And what locomotives are on the roster? This is a test save, so this isn't actually a rostered save. This is me testing. This is my test save for mods and such. So, giving you a roster here, William, would likely not be best. It's not a good representation because there's just kind of a different assortment. As you can see, we have a Skookum over there. The most common engine on the track here is going to be a Mikado because I like my Mikados. But this is just a test save. This is not indicative of any actual save. I'm just doing this to test out the mod and test out some other mods as well for potential inclusion in the Midland Mod Pack here in the future. That's the hope, at least. That's kind of funny, Celestial. Yeah, again, this is my test save. So I just kind of... What was the first thing that popped into my brain? So, William, the EBT was primarily narrow gauge. I'm saying primarily because pretty much almost all of it was narrow gauge. there was a small bit of dual gauge in the Mount Union Yard in order to service the interchange with the Pennsylvania Railroad. Depending on the other factors, CSX, yeah. I will say there's a reason the 410-4 wasn't really that popular. And I'm guessing it was due to its distinct lack of flexibility as well as weight and the weight really limited it. So there's more efficient designs out there and just overall all around better. Trust me, if the railroad found something that worked, they would have stuck with it. Because railroads may be crazy in some instances, but they need to make money, which means they need engines that work. Exactly. Potentially CSX, but also potentially not. We're struggling a little bit. We're slowing down with a 700-ton train. William, I'm not even going to try. I don't know Russian. I know the engine you're likely referring to, which is that 414-4, but I'm not. I can't speak Russian. I can't translate written Russian into spoken Russian. No thanks. See, CSX, it could be, but at that point, you're better off just going with a Challenger. And you'll get more range and more tractive effort and be able to haul more. Oh, and more flexibility for when you need it. There's that too. Orange Santa Fe is used on mountain grades to have challengers before big boys get into being. The 210-2s were sometimes probably used in helper service. I wouldn't be surprised. It depends on the route. But if they're going over Wasatch, they got a challenger. Basically, the big boy would haul it up the grade, the challenger would haul the train down the grade. So that should tell you everything you need to know. Bull Moose. Bull Moose is a neat engine. But that's like a slow knockdown, drag out fight rather than fast freight. I'm not sure what you're really referring to there, Celestial. Because aren't the Overlands the mountains? The 482s? Overlands are 410-2s. They were good at what they did, but I know the SP really preferred their 482s than their Cat 4s, and eventually the Daylight North. Yeah. Alright, we just blasted through heaven. So you can see some of the Robinson Gap mod here. Brady Hill is here. Hard Hill? But yep, see we have a bigger Robinson now. So we'll have all the coal. Again, part of the Midland Mod Pack coming at some point. Soon TM. And Ari Kuda, welcome. I'm doing all right. How are you? What would it take to have an 060 with 19,515 pounds tractive effort? The right size cylinders and enough weight. Oh, it's a British loco? Understandable. I will say, seeing the motion is kind of mesmerizing. Oh, CSX. Processing there, will you? And Wild Game 69, welcome. Welcome to everybody. We're getting a few new people tonight, which is awesome. Well, thank you for coming and joining the stream and watching. If you like it, subscribe if you feel inclined, or like the stream, or chat. It all helps. It all helps. And just thank you to all of you, because you guys, as I was saying earlier, you guys really have made a lot of stuff happen this year that I didn't think would. I knew, I had a plan for it to eventually happen, but you guys helped it happen sooner. So thank you. I really appreciate it. Struggling with the grade a little bit. Yeah, I was expecting. I mean, it's leveled out to, okay, it's going from 1.1 to 1.2. So it's around 1.1 now, but I guess once it gets up about 1.5, it doesn't like it too much. So I would say don't use this on your red marble gold drags. going on about the blue pump ball. Now that we're through the tunnel, we do in fact have a choo-choo here already. Oh, jeez. You all have fun with your one-off creations. I'll stick with what actually existed. I will say, this engine's kind of sucking down water. CSX, I think the entire engine's a problem for what they were trying to get it to do. It was inadequate in all aspects. It is a thirsty boy. Like we've used about half the water getting up here. Wild Games, I don't know your specific situation. So, if it's not producing coal, I would say make sure it has a boxcar of tools up there. And double check if that's coming in the interchange or not. Hello? Hello, Pacific Northwest. And PXK had very tall coal bunker. Yeah, this thing has a lot of coal capacity. I don't think they were worried about water. They were more worried about coal. I will say with the model that the mod maker has here, a lot of the textures have like this blackout zone, and I don't know what's causing that. That causes the text, like the number and everything, to disappear. So I'm not sure what causes that, but it is happening. Alright, so that is parked. Okay, orders, manual. Thing is rendering distance. Seems to be more shaky the last two passes. Texas, isn't it? Okay. I can see how that could be. Sorry, guys. I'm concentrating for a second here. The concentration. The focus. I mean, that can create some fun operational stuff. So I'm not going to knock it too hard because it is realistic. They had 5,000 gallons of water and 12 tons of coal. It just depends on what you want to do with it. M2, M1. We're doing some sorting here. We're doing some switching. Celestial, sometimes I wonder about you. Sometimes. Mason, I didn't even know about Mason bogies, and I thought they were all 40s, and then Mason bogey was a thing. So they are neat. Mason bogies are neat. The answer to that CSX is they would have been American and better and a lot more suited to a lot of the roles that they wanted to be, and also not an E2. And PXCK gifting another 5 memberships. Thank you. Thank you, PXCK. And Bandan. Gifting 5. Thank you, Bandan. You guys are all wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately it looks like that way, CSX. YouTube is weird. But thank you, Bandan and PXCK. Thank you. Appreciate you. Kerchunk. That may have been a bit of a hard dunk, but oh well. Alright, so that's on. Now to do some more switching. Okay, this is gonna get fun. Oh, yeah, this is gonna get fun. Okay, we're gonna have to come back for that boxcar. Liam, it's not actually EBT-12. It is a stand-in that has happened to be numbered the same way. It is not actually EBT-12. Having seen EBT-12 many times, I can assure you there are many differences. CSX, the answer to that is pretty much everything. Probably wall shirts, valve gear, if I had to guess, or yeah, probably wall shirts. Outside cylinders versus and no inside cylinders. Couplers, more fuel, likely a saddle tank, not a side tank. You name it, it probably would have been different. Okay, so you're wondering why 12 was given the name. Well, back in the beginning days of the Kowalczyk tourist era in 1960, Millie Kowalczyk came down and christened this new era when the railroad reopened under Kowalczyk ownership. She christened this new era by breaking a glass bottle of ginger ale on the pilot of number 12. Later on, the engine was given her name in honor of this event. And that is how 12 became nicknamed, though not officially named, Millie. But this is what happens to your copper mine in the Midland Mod Pack. This is what happens. And this is just the copper mine. people who viewed the stream earlier would have seen what happens to Robinson Gap, at least at the interchange. And I'm hoping that's all the cars, because if it's not, oh god. A lot of copper. William, the CNJ had 464 tank engines with not a side tank and then a normal tank on the rear. I'm not sure about the 262s. Let's see here. Let's see what these look like. Okay, they did have side tanks. It also looks like they may have had an end tank too. Neat. Neat little engines. I would say the 464s likely were better. CSX, they weren't. There were plenty of classes of tank engines here in the States. They were just kind of, because of how many engines we had, they were not really majorly numbered, but they were prevalent. So, there's that. Yes, I'm kicking your car. It's fine. Well, this did not go to plan. This really did not go to plan. Whoops. Oh, darn. Dunk. It dunked too hard. You can tell I'm tired. Stuff like that happens. It seems like you need a conductor or brakeman, sir. It would have helped. I'm not gonna lie, it would have helped, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Why won't you believe me that everything's fine? So here's what we're going to do about this. Alrighty. Let's get the passenger car and coach turned around. Hello, Bucko. Welcome to the stream, late and night. I will say, once we get this consist kind of turned around the Y and back at the station, we likely will call the stream there. Mainly because I streamed earlier, and I'm starting to get a little tired, guys. Nothing you guys did. I'm just a little tired. I'm old. The USATC ones were not all exports. Most of them were. But I'm pretty sure some stayed stateside. Because it's USATC. The Army liked using them. Just like some S-160 stayed stateside. More coffee. I don't drink coffee. I drink, much to my detriment, soda. But coffee, good. I never developed a taste for it. And not Mountain Dew. I don't drink Mountain Dew. It's either Pepsi or Coke. Sometimes Sprite. But Pepsi or Coke. Ew, monster. Ew. Ew. Despicable drink. Oh, jeez. How much room? We got a decent bit of room. Not much, though. Oh, CSX, I can taste the difference. There is a difference. I assure you, there is a difference. Alrighty, as we pull into the station, I think I'm going to call stream there, guys. And the reason is, one, it's kind of getting late here, and I'm kind of getting old. So yeah, just be aware of that. But again, I want to say thank you to all of you for your support, for your comments, your subscriptions, for all the membership gifting that was done by PXCK and Bandan and the super chat by ZVK. Thank you guys. It really does mean a lot. It really does help me out. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for helping make some things happen. I truly, truly do appreciate it. And I hope to see you all in the next one. I will see you on Monday, folks. Have a great weekend. Take care and good night.